Welcome to my social media channel. This is Mark Anderson. I'm the author of the book, Forgotten Secrets of Passing On Generational Wealth. If you haven't read it, you can pick up a copy of it on Amazon today. Also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like this video. In this episode, we will discuss entrepreneurship in the Bible. In my initial video, I said that from time to time, I would cover off topics that I felt were relevant to Scripture, to the Bible. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about an example of entrepreneurship in the Bible. So if you're not familiar with this story, it's in Matthew 25, verses 14 to 30. I will briefly share a short synopsis of what it's about. In this parable, Jesus tells the story of a master who went away on a long journey. Okay, so he was going to be gone a long time, and he entrusted to his servants, 3 of his servants, his wealth. He entrusted to one 5 talents, which was the equivalent of roughly 350 pounds of gold, which would be worth tens of millions of dollars. To another servant, he entrusted 2 talents, and to the last servant, he entrusted 1 talent. And he was gone on a long journey, because back in those days, the only way you could travel long distances was through camel. There were no airplanes, there were no railways that you could travel. You had to travel via camel, especially in the Middle East over there. So when the master came back after a long time, after he came back from his journey, he settled his accounts with his servants. The first 2 servants came in and they told their master that they had, each one of them, taken the amount of money that he had given them and they had doubled it. So the first servant took the 5 talents and made 5 more. And the second servant, he took those 2 talents that he was given and he made 2 more. However, the last servant said that he was afraid of his master, and so he hid the money in the ground. The first 2 servants were recommended or commended by their master. They were rewarded, but the last servant was punished for his deeds. Now, as we look at what they did, you have to ask yourself, how did they manage to double their money during the time that their master was gone? I believe that what they did was they engaged in entrepreneurship. It's the only way that they would have been able to double their master's money. We're not told exactly what they did. We just know that they doubled the money. Perhaps one of them bought a piece of property and had hired people to work the land for him. And maybe the other one went out into the marketplace and engaged in some type of trade or commerce for that day. The important thing is that they doubled their master's money. They used their time and the money that he gave them for productive means. But the last servant took that money and hid it in the ground, and he used it for unproductive means. So as we wrap up this video, what does this story teach us about today? I believe that there's 2 applications that we can learn from this story. The first one is that all of our resources, our time, our money, our health, our habits, they are all resources that God has given us. And we ultimately need to use those resources for productive means. We need to take our time and leverage it towards productive things rather than just being entertained all the time. And our money, we need to use it for productive means as well. And then the second application is that we cannot let fear drive our activities. The last servant was fearful of his master, and so he decided to bury the money in the ground. We don't want to be that servant. We don't want to let fear drive us and make us afraid so that we don't engage in activities like entrepreneurship. You can learn how to be an entrepreneur. In my book, I lay out some steps that you can take in order to become an entrepreneur, as well as how to use your resources so that you can have an advantage over other entrepreneurs. So it is my sincerest desire and hope as we wrap up this video that the information contained in all of my videos and in all of my book will help you to improve your life. And again, don't forget to pick up your copy of it. It's Forgotten Secrets of Passing on Generational Wealth. May God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Also, if this information has helped you in any way, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day.